Why are you sacrificing motivation?
I'm gonna kill you for
My erectile is not dysfunctional.
Let's use our president, for example.
Are you over 10,000 kilometers away from South Africa?
Conspiracy theorists.
I can open the door for you to join the Illuminati.
Good evening, everyone.
NippyCast.
This is Choice FM 101.1.
This is Choice FM, 26 minutes before 7 o'clock. We are wrapping up the first session of the show. The Flava Avenue with the one with the magical touch. And I'm sorry about what happened earlier on, man. You know, we have Nipro back on the air. Hey, Nipro.
Hey, Flava, who's it? And Grammy. No. I think it was just a glitch on my gadget here.
No, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Otherwise, are you good?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the tall buildings of Gauteng, I present to you DJ Nipro all the way from Block F. I remember back then, man.
Thing is Block F in Gauteng.
Block F in Gauteng now. Block F in Venda.
You're saying you remember back then?
Yeah, I remember back then when you were still, when we were still doing radio. I mean, back then, mashubi nenge. Nido richida radio ni nofara container broto songopera ngori oboso ngudozerwa butter.
Let me tell you something, Chief. Let me tell you something. Nendasa ikore nashkapti dumabuda. Nacho to wana chede yoto reng yotola.
We all know that it's so difficult, man, to swallow Borota Brown usongo dozeri.
Oh yeah, well at primary school it was like that though. Elani antu apiro. That thing was terrible, Chief. Yo, it was.
Back, man. Okay, so let's get into the business of the day. Black Coffee. He has just won the Grammy for his 2021 album, Subconsciously. I mean, he featured a whole lot of artists on this album. There's a whole lot of work that he really had to put in, to get the album out and ready. So, what does it mean, for the country as a whole?
I'm glad that you are saying, you're asking me this question today because during the course of the week, I bumped into some tweet from an actor called Peltusi. She was kind of like dumbing it down, making it look like it's not a thing, Then everybody was like, hey, jealous. Because some people raised a very good point in terms of industry, a line of work in terms of, let's say, which is the film industry, whereby their biggest awards is what now? The Oscars. So imagine if she was to win an Oscar for whatever film she has done or series or whatever, and then we were to say, the Oscars don't matter. How would she feel? You see, so maybe she's just not clued up about the awards. So that's why maybe today we're having this dialogue. Let's unpack it at a granular level, the importance or the significance of this win for South African music industry because of Black Coffee's achievement on this. I'm going to go back all the way to 62 years ago. The year was 1959. There was an organization called the Recording Academy. The Recording Academy is similar to the recording industry of South Africa, which we call RISA. These guys are more like the custodian of every single thing that gets recorded everywhere. Like, for example, even your radio show now is being recorded, I'm sure, at the back. And then you do reports, just in case if you say something that maybe the BCC, is it B, what you call it? Is B, what is that one? B, is it BCC? Broadcast Complaints Commission. If they want to use the recording for whatever reason, but the custodian of those recordings of everywhere in the country is sitting with recording industry, South Africa, which is RISA. So music is also a recorded format. The custodians of the biggest recording music academy in the whole world is the recording, they call it actually the Recording Academy. It has got an acronym, I forgot, I think it's NARAS or something like that. But it's the biggest in the world in America. So in 1959, the Academy decided, we've been recording music, but let's find a way to award these musicians. How do we do that? Let's create something called Gramophone Awards.
of the Grammy Awards.
Let's, I'm gonna come to how the Grammy is just a shortcut of it. Gramophone.
Yeah.
Gramophone. I'm sure you're old enough to know what a gramophone is. Gramophone is like, yeah.
No. Go on.
A gramophone is like the first generation of a turntable, but an analog one. So it's the one that you would LP. You see, it's like just that word as a Grammy. It's more like the Chipikara, Chakara, and it's like the first generation.
Sure.
I've got a podcast on YouTube where I speak about the history of radio, so they can always go look for the history there. I have all those there on my archive of music. So basically, the gramophone, gramophone. So I think I've explained it well.
Yeah.
So now, they were like, let's start the gramophone awards. Gramophone music turntable gramophone.
Yeah.
Then as time went, it had a nickname. So it's the same thing as for example, like I'm in a committee, Chivenda Music Awards. We've been running that for the past 10 years, sorry. You know, successfully so. So right tomorrow it's called Chivenda Music Awards. And then later on we're like, let's call them the Chimas. It's just an acronym. So the Grammys is a gramophone awards, and then the Grammy is from the word gramophone, which is an instrument of playing music. That's the beginning of it.
Can I tell you something, Napra? Can I just quickly chip in? I mean, you are schooling us now, man. I mean, this is new to me, eh? You are schooling us now, man. This is so exciting. So yeah.
That's what you get for hanging with a guy like me, my man. I'm cool like that.
No, definitely.
I prepared you very well. You are my protege.
You're gonna take the cup on this one. I mean, you're gonna take the grammar for this, the Grammy on this one.
Come on, man. I mean, everybody knows that you are my protege. So really, I did a great job on you, man.
And I really appreciate that. Please, I need to tell you this while you're still alive.
I remember it was probably 20 years ago when I did my first radio links over the phone with you at a station up the road. You are the one who introduced me to these things.
No, it's okay.
You know.
It's okay.
So let's go back to the Grammys.
Sure.
So now that recording, the Recording Academy. Academy, you know, it's like an institution. So University of Venda or science. So they would have like Academy of Science and all those other things. So Academy, Recording Academy. Huba hodzura ala mathanga mastering music from all over the world, you know. Ndivone bono decide as a panel as ujaja utechelesa chimona chingwa. These are like musicians on steroids, experts of everything that has to do with music. So now I'm sitting in 1959. Let's fast forward all the way to the development of it. Let's go to let's take it further down all the way to maybe the 70s. We had artists like Elvis Presley. We had good artists like Bob Marley. Some of these artists never really won the Grammys, but they had big songs. You know, we had we had artists that have not won the Grammys, but they deserve it. So there was an introduction of something we call some sort of a complimentary type of thing. It's like an honorary achievement award type of, you can call it an achievement award. So that was the introduction of that. So, and then it went all the way to now. So now, in terms of how big this thing is, Dr. Man, for example, you have the Chima, Zichima, it focus on the Chivenda Music Awards. It focus on Venda in the region of Limpopo, somewhere the north, where you are broadcasting to right now. Whoever that is listening from that region, Venda. And then Havana Limpopo Music Awards. It focus on a province in Pedi, Patongana, Nava Venda. This is a provincial one. South Africa and South African Music Awards, which we call the Summers. And in that spectrum, there's a lot of awards, different types of awards all the way. I'm not going to mention all of them, but let's go all the way to the top three, which is like your MTV, your what you call your Soul Train and all the other ones, but the one at the top of it all, the beat and all of the whole world is the Grammys. This is the one where not Oshikana Vanishtonga Konkontoni Ningabalangum. This is the one.
Yeah.
This is the creme de la creme. What you call creme what? There's a,
Yes, I can hear you.
yeah,
This is the biggest of them all.
there's a term that my friend Jimmy uses. It's called creme de la creme, whatever. So it's like the eat, you know. So that's how big this thing is. Now, coming back from the world to South Africa, where we are having a guy like Black Coffee winning this thing. Somebody was saying, well, some people have won the Grammys. Yes, some people have won the Grammys. Lady Smith Black Mambazo has won the Grammys. I think Miriam Makeba has won the Grammys. And a few other people. That one, people can Google it. You can look it up. But the significance of Black Coffee on this one is that he is the first black DJ in the world to win it. And he's from South Africa.
Dance and electronic music album
for the best dance electronic music album. So dance actually Richard electronic is more like another electro or EDM. It's like they categorize them in the same thing. But basically, in a nutshell, it's like house music. But it's just two words that are saying the same thing musically. So he's the first one. And then in the DJ spectrum, the first DJ to win it was Little Louis Vega a while ago. And then now the in the DJ spectrum again, the first black is DJ Black Coffee. And then now they want us to say the first African, just for political correctness, because nobody has won this in Africa. So and the first person to do that is a South African who is Black Coffee.
All right, no problem. Okay, so now let's quickly talk about the significance of the Grammy Award in terms of Black Coffee as an artist, Black Coffee as a DJ, Black Coffee as a producer. I mean, what does it mean to him? I mean, as a DJ and a producer.
This thing, as you're saying that, I'm trying to look for the best example. You spend all your life going to school. Most of your life, the first few years of your life, you go to primary. The first, second stage is secondary school. Then you go to a university. And a lot of people don't make it to get a degree. This one has gotten like a degree on steroids of music in terms of acknowledgement. So that's how big he has hit the roof. In terms of acknowledgement. So this, what it means, can I equate it to even monetary value and recognition? So, for example, you will see his booking rates will start changing now.
Definitely.
The last time I checked, it was billing like I think $100,000 US dollars. Which is like 1.6 million, I think.
$100,000 US dollars.
That's the last time I checked. I think that's his international rate, but I think in South Africa he would rather prefer to bill us differently because the market is different. I don't think. Let's just say, for example, if we're doing a show now, me and you, do we really have that much for one person? Really, because of the footprint and whatnot. But I think he uses his own discretion because now the word is out to say how is he going to manage these bookings in terms of demand and supply? Is he going to bill us the way he bills international?
Well, he's always been. He's always been busy. We have seen him playing in Spain. He's been doing very well. He's always fully booked. Throughout the whole year, there's no way that you will just, chip in and find, an available space for Black Coffee. That's impossible. So
it's actually difficult. This guy is probably by far the busiest DJ I've ever known. Let me name drop a little bit, or not even name drop. Let me show off a little bit. He used to be my neighbor some years back. This guy used to be busy. They used to work a lot. Sometimes when you realize this one is doing this now, go criticize. You know that this album that it was being criticized by South Africans to say, you have changed your style, we no longer feel you. But now he compromised the South Africans' feelings for the world to recognize him.
He also worked with people like Pharrell Williams and our very own from Makwarela, Una Rams. You know, Usher, Chillaman, Msaki, David Guetta, I mean, just to mention but a few. So he has worked with a whole lot of people on this album. And definitely, I mean, I personally never thought that maybe it will manage to get him a Grammy Award, but I just thought that he did great on that album, man.
One thing I know, I don't know Black Coffee personally. I sometimes meet him here and there, obviously, because of our line of work. But one thing I know, this guy pays attention to detail. The first time he was showing us how he makes a song, I remember we were in the South African Music Conference. I think it was 2008 or 2009, somewhere there. We were in the baseline. So they called him by DJ United. DJ United is Christos, Fresh, Oskido, Greg Maluka, as well as Vinny Da Vinci. So they used to do South African Music Conference. So they'll call all these up-and-coming producers and everybody else in the room, and then we sit and we watch these people. So what I've picked up from him then at that time I think he just released his first album. The first album, I think it was called A Cup of Tea or Coffee or something like that. I forgot the name.
Sure.
So he was showing us, this is how he starts making a song. This is how it goes in. And by the way, there's other things that maybe not a lot of people know about Black Coffee. He has been working with a lot of people in the industry, but they used to have a group called Shana. Yeah. If you remember a group called Shana, which was Shota, Demo, and Black Coffee. I think there were three. And I think Shana was an acronym. It stood for Simply Hot and Naturally African, I think. It was an acronym. So they're the ones who did that big song of Leo Matosa, which was used by Mila. That's the time when they came out and whatnot. So he branched out and he became Black Coffee. So at the conference, he was showing us how he does this. He's one of the people that make music from the heart. He doesn't follow trends. He makes trends. You see, so he's very particular.
Just a quick one. Before I let you go, now there's just one thing that I thought, it's quite very interesting. I mean, he's been competing against, artists and groups of people that are highly experienced. I mean, let's talk about 10 City. We all know, who does not know about 10 City? They've been huge. We grew up listening to 10 City. So now they were also competing, against Black Coffee. But then, fortunately, he won against them. Marshmello, Major Lazer, just to mention, about a few. So I really think that, for him to win this album has got nothing to do with, being done a favor. This is all but merit. Like you're saying, he pays, attention to details. He produces his music, he really invests so much of his heart on whatever that is working on. So I personally think that, you are perfectly right. When you say that, he pays, attention to every detail. You cannot compete against 10 City and walk away with it. That's impossible. You have to be special. So Natima Pumulo is indeed special, man.
There's no way that
they will do him a favor, because remember that academy is full of very objective people. We're talking about professors of music. They sit and they analyze. It's a process. It's a process. Like I'm gonna show you a process that we also go through even when you're doing the chimas. It's a process. It takes months and weeks sitting in a room listening. There's no way it was a favor, and because no, there's no such, because this guy works so hard to an extent where I remember the first time. If you remember DJ Quash back in the day, Flava. DJ Quash. Yes, may his soul rest in peace. He's the one who introduced me to the industry in parallel with you on radio, with him on the floor, on the dance floor, right? So
I remember.
He used to tell me that there's this other DJ in Pretoria who plays with one hand. I'm like, how the hell do you DJ with one hand? Remember at that time it was 10 tables. I'm like, it could be very difficult. At that time, they would just say DJ Natty, before it was Black Coffee. Then I'm like, okay, as time went, I'm like, then I started meeting this guy at the gigs and we see him. Then you realize that this guy really, really loves his job and he means business. So there's no way you're in the favor, This guy is where he is because he worked hard and the world has recognized him from a music perspective. This thing is epic.
One more thing. Okay, one more thing. Time is against us now, Niprom. One more thing. Let's talk about Una Rams. What does this mean for Una Rams? As a local boy, we know that he's talented and we know that, he's currently, working with Black Coffee. So I mean, for him to be part of the album that has won the Grammy Award, I mean, it has to take him a whole lot of huge mileage. I mean, what does it mean, I mean, for him as an individual?
Flava, when you're asking that question, I know already how to give you, me an examples. Do you know what it means? They say,
I mean, you tell me. That's the reason why you are here.
Let me tell you what it means. Remember when we were watching the Oscars when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock?
Oh, yeah.
And his bookings, Chris Rock's bookings grew.
You really have to go there.
And then let me show you what it means. And Chris Rock's bookings went up, and then the tickets moved from $40 to $800, which is like $12,000 per person. So Una Ram's involvement in Subconsciously by Black Coffee is equivalent to Will Smith slapping Chris Rock and Chris Rock benefiting from it. Their profile has increased,
especially after what happened when I think that was his last performance in Venda. Am I correct? I mean, I'm subject to correction. Remember what happened when he was performing here at home? He got booed and all that. People were even throwing stuff, onto the stage and all that.
No, I was there. I was running that stage. Am I allowed to mention the name of the show?
No.
Okay, I was there. I was managing that stage. Well, look, I think people are just not ready for his type of music. But he's got a universal music. He's international. There are times when you don't really have to, because Nimuvenda, no one's going to perform a venda. He should go to a world stage. What it means for him, his profile has gone up because he's involved in the most successful album for the year. It's equivalent to Chris Rock getting bookings now. So the mileage has gone up.
So in other words,
you need to receive some slaps, in order for you to go up in life, man. I mean, the way up is the way down, and the way down is the way up. In other words,
you will never know. With entertainment, anything is possible. But he is in a winning team. I think it was mentioned on stage as well during the acceptance speech.
I don't even know what to say. I want to thank God for the gift of music and being able to share it with the world and heal some souls and help people go through whatever they're going through in life. I want to thank my team, Christiana, Samantha, China. I'm not going to be able to mention everyone who I work with right now. I want to thank everyone who's on the album, from Sagi in South Africa to David Guetta, who had believed in working with a smaller artist like myself, and trusting me and trusting my ear. Pharrell, Josie, Delilah, Una Rams, everyone who's on the album. I want to thank my fans and people who follow what I do all over the world. Thank you so much for believing in me. I want to thank my family. I want to thank my children. This is my firstborn son. And I have, this is my +1 for tonight. I have 5 more, so I'm coming back with them. Thank you.
Yeah, it was mentioned. And the funny part is I was not even aware he was involved in the project. I was not even aware about everything. I was just watching this thing. I'm like, oh, Black Coffee is there? I'm like, wow, this is big.
You're getting old, right?
I never saw it coming.
So now, Pel Tusi has got an issue with Black Coffee. I mean, you said you bumped into Pel Tusi a few days ago, and I mean, I also saw the story. I read the story on the internet. I mean, a few days ago, she's been, criticizing, saying negative stuff and all that. I mean,
but Flava, we just unpacked the import. Right about now, we just unpacked. Flava, right about now, we just unpacked the significance of the Grammys. If you listen to what we just said for the past 20 minutes and go read the tweet, you'll see she's just talking because she's got a mouth.
It's all right, man. It's all right. Okay, before setup.
This is Choice FM 101.1, your voice, your music, and you are still listening to the Flava Avenue. And we have DJ Niplo right here on the radio. We're talking about Black Coffee. Anyway, I gotta go, my brother. I gotta go. It was nice having you, and we can talk throughout the whole night. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff that we can talk about Black Coffee. He has done so much for himself. He has done so much for his family. He has done so much for the whole country. I mean, for the country as a whole. But one thing that I think it's quite very much important is that he's now the real role model that we have always been looking upon. I mean, now he's got something to show up. I mean, he's got something to show, really, to say, guys, I've done it. So now when I talk, please listen to me. There's one DJ, there's one producer who's always been on his case. I wonder what he's saying right now. I wonder what is going on in his mind right now, because he's always been trying to oppose him on Twitter. I mean, he's been on his case for far too long. And
who's that?
No, I'm not mentioning names here. I mean, you want me to get? No, I don't want to get fired, bro.
All I know is that Black Coffee is Superman.
Ah, come on, man. It's all right, man. Maybe just your last remarks. I mean, probably 30 seconds just before I release you, bro. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, say that again.
No.
Yes,
I mean, your last remarks. I mean, just before I release you, I'm giving you 30 seconds. 30 seconds, yeah.
Look, in the industry of entertainment, a lot of things get said and done, and people work differently. Look, to be honest with you, an award doesn't mean that you have been graded as the best, but this one we can thoroughly explain that he's arguably up there, So anybody can say anything, but for me, in closing, as a parting shot, I think it was about time we get a black DJ winning a Grammy.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's amazing, bro. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was DJ April right here live on your radio. And I nearly said that he's back again tomorrow. You're not coming back, bro. I mean, you're coming back next year again, eh?
I think I'm in town. I'm going to gig there in town next weekend.
Yeah, okay, so please pass by the studios. I'm here, bro. Okay, it's all right.
I'll come through. Actually, I'll be in the building, in the same building.
All right. Guys. It's all right, my brother.
Yeah.
It's okay. 3 minutes before 7. This is Choice FM 101.1. Your voice, your music.
Here we go.
It's the realest station.
You know what I'm saying?
I love you guys.
Follow us on Twitter at Choice FMSA. Right now at Choice FMSA.
Why you sacrificing with basis? I'm gonna kill this one.
My erectile is not dysfunctional.
Let's use our president, for example.
Are you over 10,000 kilometers away from South Africa?
Conspiracy theorists.
I can open the door for you to join the Illuminati.
Winning everyone.
NippyCast.